Welcome to the Transformative Men's Podcast. It's our next episode. I hope you've enjoyed all the ones that we've put out so far. I've got some beautiful brothers sitting next to me. Tell us who you are and where you're from, man.
I'm Coby Lyons, originally from Fort Worth, Texas, but I live here now in Henderson. Been in the Vegas area for over 20 years.
Wow. What about you, brother?
I am Scotty Love, originally from Wichita, Kansas. Been in Austin for about the last 25 years and freshly in Vegas for about 3 weeks now, and absolutely love it.
Nice. Well, as you guys know, Mike Pierce, Questful Yogi, doing all the things. I co-facilitate with my brother Coby here with the Transformative Men's Group. I got my fucking beautiful brother over here, excuse the cussing, Scotty Love, who's now living in, we're talking about today about the portal energy, 1111, and just, finding that energy, what it might mean for someone who is not quite sure about what this energy is, what that looks like. What does that mean for you, Scotty, as I think tattoo?
Literally have praying hands. You can see.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing these alignments of numbers since I was probably 20 years old, for 26 years, and they have meant lots of things for me along the way, from angel numbers and many thousands of angels looking over me to finding my own understanding of portals and dates and numerology, and the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit equal one wholeness being for me, feminine, the masculine, the child equaling one wholeness, mind, body, soul, completeness equal one wholeness. So that's what it is for me personally. And the day, a portal day, a day that freedom has been fought for, that many have fought to remove obstacles.
Veterans Day, right?
Yeah, to remove obstacles and people that are not upholding their highest. And so today represents so many deep things in those regards.
What about you, Coby?
Well, actually, like Scotty, these numbers, either whether it's 111 or 1111, 555, 333, 444, I just happen to look at a clock and they're right there. I just see them in the right moment, and they always seem to mark a significant point of that day, and usually it's an indication that I'm on the right path. I'm going in the right direction, or it's a reminder, it's like all right, let's self-correct a little bit. And I was inspired today with the portal that happened to fall in the men's group, and this is a particularly powerful one with these transits happening.
Explain transits, because for me, right, with this energy of, with talking about what portals are and then talking about these synchronicities, these numbers and all of this, I come from kind of a math numbering kind of thing background, right? And I know that everything is numeric, right? Science is numeric, the world is numeric, and there's patterns, and everything can be derived mathematically into this number, right? So when your heart beats a certain amount of minutes, right? There's a rhythm, there's a number pattern, right? There's the Fibonacci sequence that, you can continue on an infinite road, but at a certain number. What the circumference of the earth is a certain number, right? So there's these power numbers, but then when you start to see these alignments, like you said, it starts to, there's a belief out there that it puts you on the right path, or you're acknowledging that you're finding that path. It's like the universe giving you something. Is that what I understand, right?
Yeah. The way I understand it, and it comes from how I'm informed through astrology, and I'm not an astrologer, just full disclosure, by any stretch of the imagination.
And I'm not a mathematician.
I'm a dabbler, if you will. However, I still pay attention to these transits, and the way I do it, I listen to people who are more experts talking about it, and then I watch to see how it manifests in my own life. And being someone who feels energies and energy shifts and things like that in the space, both in more of a concise way or in a broad way, I could feel something shifting. And what I've learned about this particular one is that in astrology, they talk about Jupiter just went retrograde.
Mm-hmm. I was reading that.
Yeah. But we're also coming out of a supermoon. So we're in the shadow of that, where that supermoon helped to shine a light on things.
Mm.
And so the way I understood it is like, because of this magnanimous mirror-like energy, it's a particularly potent day for manifestation. Usually 11/11 is a day a lot of people will do some sort of manifestation. But this particular one, as I understand it, is very potent. And however, it's the indiscriminate amplifier. So just like an amplifier on a guitar, you plug it in and you just like do some distortion, it's going to come out distorted.
That's a great analogy.
And amplify the distortion. But if you play a riff, maybe some kind of blues or something, it's going to come out beautiful, right? And so that understanding, in terms of like we did this ritual process work tonight with the men's group, and so around that, there's an invitation to look at what blocks people, right? Mm-hmm. And to acknowledge that and use the energy to really, really allow ourselves to see that. Because I believe that the only way out is through. And in terms, we have to work through our conditioning, work through our shadow work, and to come out and see the other side. And it's not like we're trying to get rid of it, because that's actually where we create problems. Mm-hmm. Typically, we try to repress, hide, ignore, deny shit. Right? Yeah, exactly. And so I wanted to use this amplifying energy to bring those to the consciousness, so that we are no longer controlled by them unconsciously. And invite all of us to acknowledge those, so that we can let them go, or however, process them, whatever we need to do, and then to use that to amplify who we're really meant to be, our truly authentic self.
Yeah, I thought it was very powerful. Scotty, I know you've led some men's circles in Austin and some other places, and some of the retreats that you help, chef at and work at. How did you feel? This is your first time to join the men's group, even though you've had it in your ear for the last couple of years since we formed it, and you're talking about opening a chapter in Austin. How did that feel for you today, coming into this group and this being your first time?
Well, it's my second time, technically.
Oh,
actually,
okay.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
I was going to continue, but stay.
Second time.
But I will tell you how it made me feel. I've had these numbers tattooed on me, and I've seen them for a very long time. My kids are born on 1 and 3s, and so numerology and these portal understandings have been a deep part of my life. So I think one of the things that I appreciated about tonight is the most is looking at the shadow work. And as we're looking into it, not to shame it or to say, I need to get away from this, or this is a bad portion of me, I need all of these things to be complete. And so going through a process of looking into those things very gracefully while we're co-creating what it is that we really, going back and writing on the things that we really want, and putting those things into the fire with love and with sincerity. And I think you're right. So many times that we look at it, and that's what creates I am not enough. That those ideas are what creates the shame when we start looking at ourselves. I think you said it earlier, you're thanking those parts, thank you for serving me up until now. Thank you.
That's right.
Yeah, because the past self, your past self is really sin, right? It's just hey man, I learned something. Mm-hmm. That could be good, could be bad, whatever you are interpreting it to be, but having that growth and that ability to learn is such a gift for all of us, right? And now when we're talking about this type of workshop that we're doing, activating to be able to work through the veil, right? To be able to manifest what that means,
right.
what is a great way for us, or what would be something good to share with the men out there, or anybody watching this podcast? What is something good to do to help them with this, even if it's on a portal day or a non-portal day?
And there's a couple of things that come to my heart, but the very first thing that comes to me is find men that are looking to be in their power, and find men that are leading groups that have mission and purpose and are truly in this. That's my absolute first.
Yeah, find the community.
Finding community of men, because it's not so everywhere, and men don't normally jump through the shadows. We're like, this is what we want, go get it, and being able to really look into those things and hold each other and be okay with them, that maybe at one point it feels like we fell short, or maybe at one point it felt like we're not enough, that we have such support, that we have such community, that we have such monthly get-togethers and different kinds of outings and things. Being that we have this in play, those ideas don't seem to come in play. The I'm not enough, or I'm worthless, or I'm shameful of the person I thought I was going to be, but never made it, or whatever that may be. But
well, there's definitely growth in community, right? Like, I know I've seen myself grow in many ways. I hear from a lot of the men who show up, and from the women who are in community, about how when you're in community, things change and you really feel supported.
Well, yeah, I agree, and I found being in groups with men has been truly an important.
You've been doing this work for a while, and you're part of a couple of other groups. What groups are you part of?
One of them I joined when I was here in Vegas. It's called the Mankind Project, which does shadow work, and you're familiar. And I got initiated through them, and then they have what's called integration groups, I groups, every Monday night. And it's a really beautiful process. It creates a safe container for us to really look at our shadow. They have some really well worked out and established protocols that men go through. And it focuses on 4 archetypes: lover, warrior, magician, and king. And there's opportunities like where men can step into that kingship by hosting and facilitating, being the king, and where they lead the group. And that's just been invaluable. But to go back to your question about how to continue on this journey, about how to continue to work through this and relating to shadow work, is that continuing to develop self-awareness. And that comes with whatever practice that helps us to do that, whether it's doing it through yoga and not the exercise, but more like some of the yoga you do and have yogis that I've met, where it's about awareness in the body and in the self, or meditation, like mindfulness awareness meditation. It's a very simple one, just following the breath. Ecstatic dance is very powerful. And there's a lot of different ways of cultivating awareness and mindfulness. And the reason that's important is because when these triggers come up, when the shadow starts to poke its head up and wants to, start messing around with our lives, tripping us up, which it was there originally to protect us, right? They're not bad things. We've just demonized them, right? We just like, oh, I can't think about that. I can't feel that. I can't do, I'm just going to be this way. And we know how that works out.
Bottling stuff up, hiding stuff,
exactly.
Create shame,
Yeah.
And, one of the things that I'm really grateful for is that, as we gather for our men's group, we're really able to kind of bring some of these things up, and we can share, and, in an authentic way, and be heard by the men. Just like with this portal tonight that we did, right? With the portal activation, and which wasn't a normal circle for us, but yet the men came in with open hearts and being willing to, explore and share. And it seemed like for them, they were all quite happy, right, with how the evening went.
I think so. Yeah, and what I liked about it was that it was grounded in the work that we do. It was grounded around bringing up. So, because it's the transformative men's work, what does that mean? We're transforming ourselves beyond our conditioning, right? And so stepping up into that authentic self of who we came in this world to be originally, who we were meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the work. And the thing is, it is a bit of a process, because just because we can think it, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. And there's something, the thing about that I think we're being mindful about is that we're not doing spiritual bypassing. Mm-hmm. We're not just trying to I can just go into joy and just, I'm just going to be joy. No, it's like we got to still. And
that's an important topic, because spiritual bypassing, these people I'm not going to say these people, there is a belief that someone can just think about, all the things, only good things are happening in my life, and there's never bad things, and I'm not going to have any bad things, so I'm not going to address those. And that is, that is right. Tell us. It's just pushing things down. You're just hiding the truth.
Right? All the while, I thought I was strong and being a warrior, just going through, but I didn't embrace the rest of it.
Right.
And I would have to deal with it. That plus everything that built up over the years and stacked upon.
Right. And so that's the thing. It's like what we can do is once we make friends with those parts of ourselves that we're trying to, once we befriend that and we start going through this and we really start stepping into that authentic self, then those things may still come up. Mm-hmm. And I attest they do.
Yeah.
That forgive and forget idea, that's another one. What do you mean forget?
I may forgive, but I may not forget.
No difference that I've noticed. The difference I've noticed about that, though, is that as I've done the work, and I've had a lot of, and a very powerful catalyst for me has been working with the plant medicines. Mm-hmm. But what I've noticed the difference is that they come up, and I might even feel them a little bit in my body, but they're like echoes. Mm. They're like this sticky thing. It's like, oh, there's that. And it's, rather than being this loud voice, it's just like this little echo. It's like a burp, or a fart, It's like,
it should be a fart. It might have smell.
Sometimes they do smell, so to speak. But I think, ultimately,
remember, don't trust a fart.
On ayahuasca ceremony, but yeah, I think what's beautiful about that, and I've said this a lot in our groups, is to remind the men to have grace with themselves,
ease and grace, and all that.
Ease and grace with ourselves. It's like if we're going to be like this loving, we want love. We got to really understand and figure out what that means for ourselves. Like, how do I feel in love? Because
that's great advice.
Yeah. Otherwise, relationships just become ones based on need. Like, oh, I need to feel validated, so you're that person who's doing that, and they need me to feel some kind of way, and relationships to some degree are transactional in some kind of way, but when I've noticed that when I'm coming from a place where I really feel good about who I am, that I don't need someone to fulfill me, I don't need someone to complete me. Thank you, Hollywood. I find that I actually attract more, and people respond to that in a very positive way. Yeah. And
so that's a portal, right? Like, I can almost see it as you're speaking to it, the way of thinking be a portal to happiness and peace. The way of connection to God being a portal. And that's what with me in 11:11 is every time I see a clock now, I'll even make 134 equal 8 to become infinity so quickly in my mind that I'll have infinity numbers or threes or ones, and to this way that leads me right back to the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, the masculine, the feminine, the child, the oneness, the wholeness of it all. Any number now. Yeah. It leads to something beautiful, and it's a portal that.
It's like your portal on moving to Vegas, right? Yeah. Everything's just aligning for you.
Yeah.
Portal. This falling in place. That's how my move to Vegas happened. Everything just aligned, and it was just amazing. If we were each gonna offer our audience today one thing, one takeaway. Scotty, what would you offer them?
On this 11/11 portal day? The one thing. I think Coby just said it. Truly love yourself and be willing to connect and to do the work and speaking to thy brothers. Find some beautiful brothers.
Yeah.
That would be my one bit of advice.
Coby, what would you offer?
Have some grace for yourself. Allow yourself to feel all the feels. Don't push them away. Just be with them. Look at them like you would maybe a wounded animal or a child who fell down on the playground, and they're in pain.
Compassion.
And see whenever those feelings come up in you, regard it in that way. I like the word from Carl Rogers, unconditional positive regard. And having that for ourselves is the first step.
Thank you. Thank you both. So, if I were going to offer one thing to you men or to anyone, I would say just remember that this is the longest relationship you're ever going to have. And no matter how bad you are, how good you are, you still have to deal with you. So, I encourage you to get out of your comfort zone, get off the couch, get out there, do something, meet some great brothers, join a group, figure out who the next version of you is, because guess what? Every 7 years you change, right? Isn't it like every 7 years you change?
Yeah,
it's a little bit longer, but it's between 7 and 10, I guess.
Yeah, the cells, all your cells completely die and regenerate.
So why not be a new you? New experiences, new life, new love.
Because you already are.
I got a 7 in my birthday this year, so I'm running with that.
Yes.
Nice.
All right, guys. Well, this is I'm Mike.
I'm Coby.
Scotty Love.
And we are the Transformative Men's Group. We would love to have you in our group.
Yes. Yeah, we would. Please join us.
Yeah.
Yeah. You say you're Mike with Questful Yogi?
I'm the Questful Yogi, and you're watching the Transformative Men's podcast. So you can find me on Questful Yogi. You can find me online. Just hashtag Questful Yogi.
I go by Renegade Mystic.
I am Scotty Love, the Vibe Alchemist.
Yes, sir. Nice.
All right. Catch you next time.
Cheers.
Ciao.